This is the
True
reason
fact.
why so many career-driven women have problems in the dating world.
You ain't met
Because,
the right one.
hold on. No, I'm just talking about as a whole, especially in the black community. The women that make this nice money, they are struggling. They are on TV talking about, oh, I'm gonna have a baby, but I'm gonna have it put in me because I can't find a man. Because really and we talked about, Ace, you talked about staying in your financial lane. For men, a lot of these women aren't staying in their physical lane or their mental lane when it comes to the men. Because now you want these men that make all this here money and do all of these here things for you, which is a very small percentage of men. If you say I want a man that make $100,000, you eliminated 85% of all men. 85%, that leaves you 15%. Half of that 15% is married. 7.5%. Half of them gay. Or live an alternative lifestyle. Take that down to 3.5%, 4% that you got to choose from. Then you want him over 6 feet, 2%. He can't be obese, 1%. You don't like Sagittarius, Leos, or Cancers. Well, now you at 0.5% of a man that you got to look for. You got to find him, and then he got to like you back. That type of man that makes that type of money has requirements for a woman too that now you have to meet. This is why so many women are struggling that make money when they step out here into the dating world because they're unrealistic for their dating pool.
I told the man I liked flowers, and this is how he came.
Harmless, right? A woman simply says she likes flowers, and a man who's interested in her and is pursuing her gets her a big bouquet. There's nothing to hate on, right? Raggedy men always find a way. And the guy who will win your heart won't spend a penny. How do you know that? I'm not spending no $450 on flowers. Not trying to be mean. Not or can't. Yeah, but that's only like once a time, once a year. Once. Not all the time. That's too much money. That's $300 right there every week. It's not happening. Maybe the man who's pursuing her can afford $300 every week. Maybe that's nothing to him. Not saying that man is better than you because he can, but she wasn't asking you. You don't deserve it. Marry him because you won't get to ruin a real man. You'll never find a man with money and options, always in women's conversations, telling women what they do and don't deserve. It's always the men that know that they want a woman like you but can't get you that are trying to dish you and tell you you don't deserve it. They want to believe that every woman that they see is an option for them. These same men will disqualify a woman if her nails aren't done, her hair isn't done, if she wears too much makeup, if she has kids. They'll disqualify a woman for any reason. But they believe that they're allowed and are owed any woman that they want. And they get angry with you and the men that raise your standards because they cannot meet them.
I know it seemed like women got all these standards because they be talking all this shit. It's bull. They just talking shit for cameras, bro. Women just be talking. It's cameras in their faces, so they try to look good and sound the best and all that shit. They be on here like rap capping and on the internet about all this and 6-figure this and 6-figure that. Most people will never make 6 figures. So why all these babies? It's more babies born in poverty than anything. Why all these babies born in poverty? Why everybody still being born poor? Why are short kids being born? Why women got fat baby daddies? Why so many broke men having babies? Why is there a thing of, oh, he ain't taking care of his kid. He ain't got no money. He should be in jail. You know why? That just show you where women's standards are. Really, the real standards, not what they get on here talking bullshit with a camera in their face trying to sound cool to other women. You have to realize whenever you see a woman say something on camera, on the internet, there's a camera in her face and she knows it and she's trying to sound a certain type of way to look a certain type of way. It's bullshit. Most people in this country don't have $1,000 in their bank account. Men and women.
Listen, baby girl, next time a man look you in your face and say, your standards are too high, look right into his and say, for you. And it goes for any time a man says you too much of anything. You're too independent, too strong, too this, too that. For him. Stop internalizing the messages that men who are not enough for you tell you, because that's the thing. That's not what he gonna say. He ain't gonna say, I'm not enough to make you feel secure. I'm not enough to raise to your standards. I'm not enough to be consistent and provide effort for you. He don't say that. He gonna blame you because you know your worth. It's always men who don't embrace theirs trying to have you question yours. That man can easily say, let me go find a lesser woman that doesn't require much from me. But he's trying to beat you into accepting less. A man that really cares about you will not make you have to choose between your standards and what he's willing to give. No, 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 no. A man that's enough for you, I never complain about the standards you have. Let me repeat that. The only men in this world that ever complain about your standards.
Men love to complain about women's high standards. But let's be honest, men's standards are the most ridiculous and delusional. Men want women to lower their standards while they get to chase unattainable fantasies. They call women shallow for rejecting them, but they themselves won't date a woman who isn't attractive enough for their egos. If women have preferences, it's a problem. But when men do it, we must respect their preferences. They think they deserve a woman who's out of their league. They project their insecurities onto women, claiming that women's standards are too high because they can't handle the fact that not every woman finds you attractive. Here's the truth. Men's standards are the problem, not women's.
Men who are not able to get on your level, who don't meet your standards, will try to bring your standards down because they want to have access to you. Okay, they use every tactic. They use guilt. They use you've hit the wall. They use you have kids. They use your age. They use that you're just a woman. They use all this crap. Yet they're trying to bring your standards down because they can't get up there where you already are. Okay, so in order for them to be able to even get your attention, they have to put you down. So you have to try to prove yourself to them, which is just using reverse psychology. You have to lower your standards because now you think they're too high to even get a man. Of course. I mean, they just bamboozled you. They're not too high. You know, most men like the challenge. The ones who don't like the challenge are the ones that are not going to benefit you anyway. So you don't need to listen to them. You basically just need to say, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm not for you. Guess we're not a pair. I guess we're not a match. You know, just send them on their way nicely. Oh, well, you know, that's too bad. I guess we're not going to be a match. Do never take your standards down when a man asks you to, because that means he can't get up there with you. So we're just not going to be.
You know, I get loads of comments and DMs from men, exactly like this one up here, saying that women these days have unrealistic standards. And you know what? They're right. Women have changed. They're more confident, independent, and capable than they've ever been. They can pay their own bills, build their own careers, and take care of themselves. And that's a beautiful thing, but it has changed the dating landscape because women are no longer looking for men to rely on. They're looking for men who can at least match what they bring to the table. Someone who brings the same energy, the same growth, and the same emotional awareness. So it's not that women's standards have become unrealistic. They're just asking for what they can already give to themselves. And as a man, that's not something to resent or get bitter about. It's something to rise up to. Because maybe it's not that women have become too much. Maybe it's that most men have stopped keeping up.
Ladies, when you have higher standards, a lot of the wrong men will be offended by them. There are a lot of men that want you to lower your standards because they do not want to become better men. They don't want to offer quality that you deserve. So instead, what they do is they try to invalidate you. They try to shame you or put you down for having higher standards.
Red flag number one. Anytime a man complains about your high standards, what I've discovered is mostly insecure men complain because you have high standards. Like, those are your standards. Don't adjust, don't settle, don't, dial back. No, your standards are your standards. What you deserve and what you expect is what you expect. Inspect what you expect. It's crazy because you never find people go to a Bentley dealership and try to strike up a deal. Like, my price is my price. Like, we can negotiate just a little bit. But ladies, too many of y'all are negotiating Honda prices, but you're a Bentley. You're negotiating Nissan prices, but you're really a Phantom. Like, I need you to know your worth and stop settling. Like, your standards is your standards. It is what it is.
I don't understand it when some men complain about women having higher standards. When they complain about women having unrealistic standards, I see it as hypocrisy in a way, because in most cases, every human being has standards. And just because you don't match someone's standards, it doesn't give you the right to call someone else's standards so high or so low. I think it's not really okay for people to think that someone's standards are low or high because they don't match their standards. Because in actual sense, what you don't understand is that what you call standards are values, and everyone in life has their values they really respect, and that is why people would love to get people who match their values. And it's not bad for people to look for people who match their values, because everyone in life is entitled to get what they really want in life. And so it's not really right for men or women to be complaining about other people's standards, because as you complain, you have to understand that you also have to look at yourself, because you're also complaining because you want someone to understand your standards. You want someone to understand your values. And so that is why I call it hypocrisy, because why do you want someone to understand your standards, yet you can't understand their standards? Meaning, in most cases, I always think that people should respect other people's standards. They should not call other people's standards so low or high, because you don't have any right to do that, because people have different tastes and preferences in life. Just because you don't like the same thing, it doesn't give you the right to call this person's standards so low. It doesn't give you the right to call another person's standards so high. And this is why some men crash out on women thinking that they have higher standards, because they think this is all about them. No, it has nothing to do with you as a man. If you think a woman cannot match your standards, it has everything to do with that woman, and you don't have to put yourself in a situation to really get mad, to really crash out on a woman because of that. You have to really respect this woman and let them go, let them be, because in most cases, everyone in this world has someone who can match their standards. And with that said, I think people should look for partners who align with their values, because when you look for a partner who matches your values, you will not think that they really have higher standards or lower standards. Because what brings this is because sometimes people try to pursue partners who really don't match with their values. I really don't believe in high standards or low standards, because what you call high or low standards is you not aligning with someone's values. And just because you don't align with someone's values, it doesn't give you the right to call their values bad or good, because we are all human beings. We have different tastes and preferences. What you may call good to you may be bad to someone else. What you may call high standards to you, it might be low standards to someone else. So what we have to understand as human beings, we have to respect what people want in life. And sometimes our lives are all about our values and what we believe in. And so if you feel like you don't believe in someone's values, you have to let them go, because you'll find someone in this world who really believes in your values, and they'll find your values to be really good and okay. And for the men outside there, for my brothers outside there, I don't want you to feel so bad when you find out that your standards don't match with the woman's standards. Just because your standards don't match, it doesn't mean that you are not important in life. It doesn't mean that you don't matter. You really matter. It depends on how you see it. And how I see it in most cases is people having different values, and it's okay to have different beliefs, and you have to believe in your values so much. And when you believe in your values, it means that you will find someone who aligns with your values. You don't have to force yourself to match with someone's standards because you feel like as if your standards are so low and their standards are so high. This is something that people are creating in our society. They are creating that dynamic, making people think that there are higher standards and lower standards. No, it depends on how you view it. Everyone's standards matter, and you have to stick to your standards all the time, because when you stick to your standards at the end of the day, your standards will make sense. So you don't have to feel bad as a man. You don't have to crash out on the women who really have the standards that don't match with your standards. You have to respect what they believe in, and you also have to respect what you believe in by letting go of such women and finding women who really match your values, women who match your standards. And that's it for today, guys. If you have anything to add on this topic, you can share your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. It's been your girl, Joan, as always. I would like to wish you a wonderful day. Take care of your beautiful lives. Until next time, I love you. Bye.